Can you believe what happened to Red Bull in Monaco? Seriously, I was shocked. The Monaco Grand Prix was a complete nightmare for the team. Today, I'll break down every detail of what went wrong during this disastrous weekend. We'll understand the technical problems, how the rivals stood out, and what this means for the future of the season. So, get ready for a complete and laid-back analysis of this weekend that Red Bull would rather forget. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like for more content like this. Seriously, I was shocked. The Monaco Grand Prix was a complete nightmare for the team. Max Verstappen, who is always fighting at the top, only managed to finish in 6th place. And that's not all. Sergio Perez's crash on the first lap made things even worse. But what exactly happened? Red Bull seemed completely out of sync with the Monaco track. From the first practice sessions, the drivers complained about the car's instability. The main problem? The car wasn't handling the bumpy sections of the track well, and this was evident throughout the weekend. On Saturday, during qualifying, the situation became even clearer. Perez was eliminated in Q1, something that hadn't happened in a long time, and Verstappen struggled in Q3. He managed to reach the final part of qualifying, but a mistake on the last attempt left him in 6th place. For a team that is used to dominating, this was a real wake-up call. Was this poor performance just a one-off, or does it indicate deeper issues? Now, let's understand the technical problems Red Bull faced. Now let's talk about the technical problems Red Bull faced in Monaco. From the start of the weekend, it was clear that the car wasn't behaving well. Both Verstappen and Perez complained about the car's suspension, which was too stiff for Monaco's characteristics. Red Bull's big challenge was adjusting the car to handle the numerous bumps and tight corners of the circuit. Red Bull's car is designed to run as close to the ground as possible to maximize downforce. This works very well on smoother tracks, but in Monaco, with so many bumps, the stiff setup became a problem. They tried everything to find a better setup. They worked tirelessly on the simulators, but couldn't find a setup that would alleviate the stiffness without compromising rear grip. This made the car unstable in corners and too bouncy on the bumps, directly affecting the driver's performance. This problem isn't exactly new for Red Bull. They faced something similar in Singapore last year. The Monaco track exposed this weakness again, and it's a concern for the upcoming races on similar circuits. Despite all their efforts, Red Bull couldn't resolve these issues over the weekend. This makes us wonder, could this weakness appear on other tracks throughout the season? Let's see how Red Bull's rivals performed in this scenario. Now let's look at how Red Bull's rivals stood out in Monaco. Ferrari in particular shone with Charles Leclerc, who won the race at home. Leclerc dominated the weekend from qualifying to the final flag. He was flawless, and the Ferrari car seemed to be in perfect harmony with Monaco's peculiarities. Meanwhile, McLaren also showed they are on the rise. Oscar Piastri was the star of the team, even threatening pole position. McLaren brought a package of updates that clearly worked, and Piastri's performance was proof that the team is on the right track. This result in Monaco is a very positive sign for McLaren in the upcoming races. Mercedes, which had a somewhat lackluster start to the season, also showed signs of recovery. George Russell managed a good result, even finishing ahead of Verstappen. They introduced a new front wing for Monaco, which seems to have helped improve the car's performance. Although they are still behind Ferrari and McLaren, Mercedes is making progress and could become a more consistent threat throughout the season. These performances from the rivals show that the championship fight is getting tighter. Ferrari is getting closer to Red Bull, and McLaren and Mercedes are improving rapidly. This promises a lot of excitement in the upcoming races. Now, let's see what we can expect for the next rounds and how this development battle will unfold. Now, let's talk about what we can expect for the next races and the importance of the development battle. Red Bull still has the strongest car, but the advantage is decreasing, and this is largely due to the intense development work that all the teams are doing. Ferrari showed in Monaco that they have a car capable of competing on any type of track. Leclerc's victory was a big boost for the team, and they are determined to keep pushing Red Bull. McLaren, with their recent updates, has also become a force to be reckoned with, and Mercedes is making significant progress with their innovations. What worries Red Bull is that several tracks in the upcoming rounds have characteristics that could expose their weaknesses, as we saw in Monaco. Canada and Singapore, for example, are circuits where stiff suspension might be a problem again. Verstappen and the team will have to work hard to ensure the car is in its best shape under these conditions. The development battle is going to be crucial. Red Bull has less wind tunnel time and CFD resources due to aerodynamic restrictions, which puts extra pressure on the team to maximize every update. It will be interesting to see how Christian Horner and his team will handle this challenge and try to maintain their championship lead. The championship is wide open, and the title fight promises to be one of the most exciting in recent years. Let's see if Red Bull can solve their technical problems and maintain their position, or if Ferrari, McLaren, and even Mercedes will manage to overtake them in the race for the title. Let's see what the drivers and team principals had to say after this tumultuous race in Monaco. Charles Leclerc. Winning here in Monaco is a dream come true. The team did an incredible job, and I knew I had to give my best from the first corner. The feeling of crossing the finish line in first place at home is indescribable. Max Verstappen. It was a tough weekend. We knew Monaco would be a challenge, but we didn't expect it to be this bad. The car was very unstable, and it made the race extremely difficult. We need to work hard to fix these issues before the next rounds. Sergio Perez. It was a big disappointment. I was expecting a good race, but things didn't go as planned. The crash was my mistake, and it complicated things even more for the team. Now it's about focusing on the next races and trying to recover those points. Toto Wolff. It was a good result for us. We are making progress, and the new front wing worked well. We still have a lot of work to do, but we are on the right track. George had an excellent race, and this gives us confidence for the future. Zach Brown. Oscar had a fantastic race. The updates are working, and we are seeing the results. We are confident that we can continue to improve and compete with the best. So, what can we take away from this crazy weekend in Monaco? Red Bull had their worst performance of the season, with technical problems and setup issues exposing significant weaknesses. Meanwhile, Ferrari shone with Leclerc, McLaren showed their potential with Piastri, and Mercedes is on the path to recovery. The season is far from predictable, and that's great for us F1 fans. The development battle will be intense, and every race will bring new challenges and surprises. Red Bull needs to fix their issues quickly if they want to maintain their lead, because the rivals are closing in fast. What do you think? Will Red Bull bounce back, or will we see a new team dominate? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoyed this analysis. See you in the next video.